Dr. Pak, thank you for being with me here on Talking Technology. Are you enjoying your time here at the M Health Summit?
Very busy, but very, very excited, and we're just amazed at the size of the conference and how much it's grown over the last few years. And I think it's indicative of where healthcare is going. So, I mean, where else would you want to be right now but to be in, front and center of healthcare and trying to make meaningful change? Because we can't afford not to.
Well, tell folks a little bit more about Diversinet. I mean, I've generally talked about it. I've had some of your folks on before, but you're the head guy. You're the big cheese, as they say. Tell folks what it's about and what your vision is for your company.
Absolutely. So they call me other names, by the way, but we won't go there for this interview. So our vision is that we will participate and enable this patient-centered movement. And what I mean by that is, I believe there are the whole healthcare sector right now is trying to address a core issue around healthcare cost. Inside that cost, if you actually look at it, most of that is chronic disease and preventable conditions. Most of that is something you can only change if we engage consumers and patients to do the right set of things. So everyone in healthcare right now is trying to determine what are the variables by which you and I, as individuals, make decisions about our health and healthcare. NLM and others have actually said we need a set of data called harmonized patient data elements that begins to look at the variables around that.
Right.
The problem is you can't collect that type of data in the doctor's office. That's data around my sleeping and other things that can only be captured when it's next to the patient.
Yes.
And that's where mobile device comes in. So what I'm trying to do from a Diversinet perspective is to address three issues in mobile health: interoperability, mobile app interoperability, mobile security, and then agility.
Right.
So the agility has to do with, given that we're experimenting, we know very little about how to engage patients. We have to build apps quickly, make changes, throw things away, and rebuild them. And we can't cycle that fast enough. You need something that can give you that platform that can very quickly adapt and make changes. Number one.
Yes.
Interoperability. All these apps are being created.
Yes.
How many apps do you think a patient will use to manage their health?
Right.
If it's not connected to the back end, it's not part of the business process, interoperability is a huge issue. And then lastly, security. I don't think I need to speak anymore, right? It's a bigger and bigger issue, and the traditional approach of managing devices from an enterprise approach doesn't work on consumer devices.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, one of the things I talk to folks about in this industry is that they got great ideas. But how does it work for the real person? I mean, you can be 30,000 feet, but if you're not down on the street level, it's not going to work. And two of the issues you just mentioned, does it work for me, and it's something I'm going to use, and security? Because folks, when you start talking about mobility, folks are coming to it, and the digital divide has been obliterated by mobile stuff. But at the same time, there's a comfort level that comes, and does it really work for people?
So we really are addressing that issue by introducing our technology or solution that we created around our platform, which is the Mobi Health Wallet. It is really a virtual health wallet that you can think of it as all my data around health gets stored in that, along with the preferences that determine how I behave. It's your wellness, it's your sleeping, it's all those things. It's also your preference around what's your primary language, whether you're a visual learner or not, because all those things matter on how I engage with you, right? Or how you want to communicate, email versus text, whatever.
Absolutely.
Knowing these profiles just is the same thing that the commercial sector has figured out. Why do you go to Starbucks? Why do you go to these mom and pop stores? Because they know you. And they say, Mrs. Jones, do you want your latte, on soy milk? It is that type of I know you that is absent in healthcare. Mobility allows us to do it, but no one's gotten there yet. And what we're doing is with the health wallet, allowing us to store preferences and your data and the ability to create these interoperable applets with the security underpinnings that allows us to address, I think, the fundamental challenges that is with us today.
Now I'm gonna end. I got two questions I'm gonna end with, and the first one is, where do you see Diversinet in about 5, 10, 15 years? Because clearly, this space moves quickly. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I see people here that weren't here last year. I've seen people that were here 2 or 3 years ago not here.
Absolutely.
Where does the space move in 5, 10 years? What's the future for Diversinet too?
So I believe, based on where our current strategic direction is that we will probably either get acquired or will be merged with another company, because this, if you look, and I think this answer is fairly generic, it's not just about Diversinet. If you look at this space, it is very clear that very few people have all the necessary components of an answer.
Right.
This mHealth space is an eco-play.
Right.
It's an ecosystem. And there are many players that you have to be brought together to create enough of a construct. So we are in conversation with multiple organizations, right? That we think will make us a dominant force in healthcare. So we're looking at the various different areas around solutions, and we bring the security, we bring the platform, and then others people have reached into the healthcare system. I think it is that combination that is going to give us to be the dominant player in this space in 5 years. Okay,
and as we end up, tell folks where they can get more information about your company and everything online, and how they can, maybe, find out, more to see what works for them.
So if you type www.diversinet.com, Diversinet.com, and if you have any questions, stop by the booth. If you have any questions, you can email to info@diversinet.com. And please come by. You have to look at the story that we crafted. Susie Hall, who's our Chief Health Information Officer, has really brought us a concept and an execution strategy around how do we engage around patients, and the story that she created. You got to see the story around Carl and why this matters.
Doctor, I appreciate your time. Thank you for being on with me here on Talking Technology.
Thank you.